Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and today we're going to be doing a comparison video. We are going to be comparing the different Kingdom Hearts 2 figures. We got the Figuarts Sora, the Figuarts Kai Sora, as well as the SH Figuarts. Now people have been asking me what's the best figure out of the three, and it's something that I thought about a lot. So I'm going to be breaking down like each figure. Not going to be doing a full review because we don't have time for that. But I'm going to give you quick pros and cons of each one and which one I recommend the most. And honestly, they all have something that makes them all unique and worth collecting. But I think it would be best if we started with the one that came out first, and that is the original Figuarts Sora. Now, the original, in my opinion, is very close to the video game model. I think it captures it extremely well, from the hair to the shoes. The hair in particular I love so much. I love like the spikes, I love how much it pops out. It just looks really great. And I also love the way the face looks. Like, to be fair, this figure came out around between 2006 to 2008, back when Kingdom Hearts 2 was relevant. And back then we didn't have the standard of SH Figuarts or like Figma or anything like that. So it was also 30 bucks, so it wasn't too expensive. But it does show its age, sadly, in articulation as well as how it looks. The things that I love the most about this is not only the way it looks, but also that it has multiple different versions of itself. So you have all of his different drives, and you also have different keyblades that you can equip to him as well. And you also got other characters, like you got Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, you got Kairi from KH2, Riku from KH1, we got Roxas, we got Axel. We have a lot of characters to work with these figures. But unfortunately, this figure is also the most brittle out of all three. I've also had a bootleg of this one. There are bootlegs for both this and Figuarts Kai, but bootlegs for this one I believe are more common. I noticed on the bootleg, the elbows, the fingers, and possibly the knee, a lot of them broke very easily, and I believe the toes were about to go next. And articulation on this figure, because of its time, is limited, but surprisingly not by much compared to other Soras. A lot of them only get about a 90-degree bend, and like you can push it to a full 90 degrees, but the more you do that, the more you're gonna weaken the figure, and it's scary to do so, so I wouldn't recommend it. And then the knees, on the other hand, it looks cool, but it doesn't function all too well. So if you look at the shorts, you don't see much articulation at all. It hides it very well. And it's rubbery, and it can be posed. Unfortunately, the knee joints can get weak over time, because I have one knee that's stronger than the other. Like, for example, if I move this one, and I move it back as much as I can, it holds that pose. It gets close to 90 degrees, but all the other Sora figures only get 90 degrees anyway, so you're not really missing out on much. But the other one, on the other hand, it has a hard time keeping the 90-degree bend. And like I was saying earlier, how the toe was about to go, this one's starting to go too. So if you plan on getting this for someone who actually plans on playing with their figures, this is not one I'd recommend. This one is going to break on them, and it's very brittle and fragile and other words like that. But if you do want just a Sora figure and you're on a budget, this is a good one to get. Just as long as you just have it on your shelf and you don't plan on playing with it. And collecting the other Figuarts, I'm not sure how expensive that is, but I know this guy, as of right now, he varies a lot. Sometimes you can find good deals anywhere from 35 to 50 bucks. Sometimes there's listings for upwards to 80 bucks, maybe more. So be patient and you can find yourself a good deal. And the next one we are going to look at is the Figuarts Kai. But this one is a bigger boy, so we're going to have to adjust the camera a little bit. There, that's a little bit better. So, this guy, there are things to like, and there are things to hate about this figure. So, the thing I like the most about this is how well it looks. Like, the paint apps, they show them like being all like dark and gritty, but Kingdom Hearts is not dark and gritty. But I still think it looks great on a figure. I think the sculpt is really good, except for the hair. I think on video, the hair looks fine, even though you can barely see it because the figure is so freaking tall and my camera doesn't have that wide angle of a view. Oh, there you go. Now you can see. So, like, the hair does look fine. Like, I think it looks okay. I don't think it matches the video game model all too well, but I think it matches the art for 2.5 HD remix, and I'm pretty sure that's when this figure was released anyway. This is just to go alongside with that. But the thing that makes this a good top contender is its articulation. Even though it's not much better compared to the PlayArts regular, it does have the best movement in its wrists. Like here, like with this figure, you only get about a 90-degree bend on the elbow, and you get a 90-degree bend on the knees. But unfortunately, the knees are a little bit tough. They click, but there you go. That's your bend. It looks good. But the thing that makes me love this figure so much is its wrists. Like, I'm able to get it behind his back with little to no issue. Surprisingly, all of the other figures that I have a hard time doing this simple pose that is very famous for Sora. And a lot of people also like to complain about the eyes. I was very upset about it at first as well. But after you play with it for a while, and after you pose it and put it next to all your other figures, it looks fine to me. I don't really care about it too much. A lot of people were complaining about how his chain on his neck isn't real because the original PlayArts actually has that attention to detail. Here's the problem though. When you move the head too much, the chain ends up getting tucked in, and sometimes the necklace itself doesn't lay down evenly. So even though it's a nice attention to detail and I love it so much, that's also fragile. When it gets tucked in, it's a nightmare to get out. So every figure forward ended up just making it a plastic mold onto his chest, and honestly, I agree with it. At first I didn't like it, but in hindsight, it was honestly one of the best ideas they did. But something I don't like is the fact that the chain on his keyblade is not metal. I think they should have kept that metal, but I think they did it for durability reasons, and that's another thing about this figure that's a good pro. This thing feels sturdy. I don't feel like I'm ever going to break this thing. But because of it being so sturdy, so are the hands. Getting the hands on the keyblade is also one of the biggest flaws about this figure. It is very tough to get the hand on the keyblade. But when it's on, it's good. It stays on. It's not going to fall out. And also, its ab crunch is also very nice. So, replicating some poses, like, you know, where he's like hanging on his keyblade. I don't know, something like this. Yeah, like doing poses like that, super easy, super nice. I highly recommend this figure, mainly because of its articulation. And the same reasons I said earlier about the original players, how you have like different figures to have you play with him. Like, I mean, there is different forms of Sora as well in this, but not as many. Like, you have limited form and final form, but they're very expensive. But you also have Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku, and Riku looks freaking sick. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have him yet, but one day I might get him. I do have Roxas from PlayArts Kai. I have Roxas in both PlayArts and PlayArts Kai, and I gotta say, the PlayArts Kai is absolutely gorgeous. It is an amazing looking figure. It looks really good with this Sora. But the main reason why I got this figure was because here I have the PlayArts Kai Cloud figures, and I want Cloud to fight Sora. And I did a photo shoot with that, and so you can check that out on my Instagram if you want to check that out. Links in the description. But this figure, back in the day when it first sold, was like, if you got it directly from Japan, $90. But if you got it through US or any other distributor, probably upwards to $120. I got this figure secondhand. I also got this as a gift from a girlfriend. But now, it depends. If you're lucky, you can get it for about $150. Sometimes people are asking upwards to $200 to $250, but if you do something like best offer or anything like that, you can probably get it for $150 at the least. And I've also seen a loose one, no box, messed up stand. I was like missing some piece. That sold for about $60. So if you're patient, you can get a good bargain on him too, but bootlegs also do exist of him. But I don't think the bootlegs are as terrible as compared to the original PlayArts. So if you get a bootleg of him and you pay stupid cheap, then screw it, why not? But this is definitely the most expensive out of the three. But even looking at him on camera, no lie, he actually looks really good on camera. And the last one we are going to look at is the SH Figuarts. So this figure is not as good, sadly, as the PlayArts Kai. I think the face looks a little bit better than PlayArts Kai, and also the fact that this figure is the only one that has multiple faces. But the wrists on the PlayArts Kai I love a lot more. This one is very limited. Like, some of the poses that I see on the box, I have no idea how they did those poses, because you can't do them with this figure. At least I can't. So if I take off his hand, you can see that it's on a ball swivel, so you can see it goes side to side. However, the indent on the inside of the hand goes so deep that if I take it off too much, it ends up just falling off. So some of the poses that they do on the box, I don't know how they do it. Like, even the iconic having the Keyblade over the shoulder, I cannot do with this figure. So I can try my best. We're gonna do this. We're gonna bend it. We're gonna put it back here, and that's honestly like the best that I can do, and then it falls off. The hands do fall off very easily if you extend it too much. So the wrists are very, very limited. That's honestly like the best I can do for this. So when it comes to articulation, the PlayArts Kai is definitely the best, but you do have more to work with on this. Like, I mean, you have like different faces and technically different hands, but not by much. And the leg articulation is much better on this figure. Like, this one's the best because here on the PlayArts Kai, you can do the same thing, but then the straps like get untucked, and tucking them back in is very difficult. While this, you have absolute freedom with this. So this is very nice. Back when this first released a couple of years ago, this was only, I think, 60 bucks or so. Now he doubled. Now he's upwards to 120. So if you're going to pay upwards to like 100 to 120 for this, you're probably better off getting the PlayArts Kai if you want it for articulation. But the main reason that I recommend this figure the most is the other figures that you can pose with. Sure, the PlayArts and PlayArts Kai look nice, especially PlayArts Kai, but none of them have Donald and Goofy. And not only do you have Donald and Goofy, and also you have the final form of Sora with his two Keyblades, the Oblivion and Oathkeeper, and that figure is actually still cheap for now. But you also have the Bring Arts figures. Like, you have the different Heartless that you could pose with as well, and you have Axel, and you also have Roxas coming out real soon, and Shion. You got the Kingdom Hearts 1 Cloud, and it's not even just those. This is SH Figuarts, so you could pose with other SH Figuarts, and SH Figuarts also scale really well with Figma, and I guess some Nendoroids if you want to do that too. Point is, there's a more variety of scale and like different photo shoots if you want to do photo shoots, or just different displays that you can do with the SH Figuarts. Personally, I also think that the hair is kind of flat. Like, if you like look at it to the side, the spikes don't come out much at all. Like, that bothers me. But that's just a nitpick though. But the thing that bothers me the most is the wrists, like, not being as free to work with. And also the articulation, especially around the shoulders and the neck, aren't as free moving as well as the PlayArts Kai. But I think this is honestly the one to go to. I think this is honestly the best Sora figure that you can get for display. If you just want a Sora figure, then the PlayArts Kai is probably a better option because it has the best articulation. And also the paint is really nice. But if you're on a budget, then the original PlayArts might be for you too. So honestly, it's up to you. I personally recommend the SH Figuarts the most when it comes to having a good display. But I think the PlayArts Kai is definitely the better figure for articulation. But let me know in the comments, what do you think is the best figure? Do you have any of these? And what are your thoughts on the figures if you have them? Like I said earlier, they all have something to go with it. Like with original PlayArts, you got the different forms, you have different Keyblades as well. Can't remember if I mentioned that or not, but you have different Keyblades to interchange with. PlayArts Kai just looks the best in my opinion and has better articulation. Then SH Figuarts just has the best variety of a display because you have Donald and Goofy and all the other SH Figuarts and Figma and etc. I'm thankful to have all three because they all serve their own purposes. I think they all look good, and now I get to share my opinion with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, you know what to do. In the description there's my social medias, but if you like action figures, I really recommend you check out my Instagram because I have a lot of action figures on there, and I hope this helps somebody out. Thank you for watching. I love you guys to death, and I'll see you on the next one.